Hello, believers, deniers, and sheeple. Welcome to Conspiracy Talk, the podcast where we make up ridiculous conspiracy theories to oppose real-world subjects. My name is Dan, and I am your host. Today, we have, returning for her third time on Conspiracy Talk, Lucy. Hello.
It's my third time?
Yep.
Really?
Yeah.
What was the second one?
The
I
second
remember
one,
I did the birds.
we did Birds, Simpsons, and now this week,
Oh, the Simpsons.
yes, The
I'd forgotten
Simpsons.
about that. That was lovely, yeah. What are we
And
doing this week then?
this week, we are going to go ahead and talk about evolution. Now, back in the day, there was some arguments about whether humans evolved or were created, and we have united here saying that we can agree in this podcast that humans have evolved, but what did they evolve from? That is our subject. Anyways, quick disclaimer here at Conspiracy Talk, we don't believe or endorse any of our conspiracy theories, nor do we support misinformation, disinformation, or malinformation. Anything you hear from this podcast is purely for fun and entertainment. So, let's get right to it.
So,
Would you like to go first, Lucy?
yes, okay.
Alright, go for it.
So I fully believe that humans are evolved from hamsters. Yes, it's true. Have you, I don't know. I assume most of our viewers will have seen hamsters at some point in their lives.
Mhm.
I'm going to talk now about the similarities between hamsters and humans. Similarity 1. They sleep a lot. And we sleep a lot too. Isn't that funny? Similarity number 2. I thought this would be easier. You know, when I was like, oh yeah, we've definitely evolved from hamsters. I was like, yeah, I have loads of reasons, and now I'm on the spot. And I've completely hamsters like food. They look for food all day, and they take their food and they stash it. That's me with all my chocolates. They love running on their wheels. We love running too, and walking and going absolutely nowhere. Like it's like a treadmill, you know. When you wake them up too early in the morning, they get grumpy with you. Their eyes are like what's the word? Like squinting. Their eyes are squinting and their ears are pressed down and they're like, why, it's too early. And that's just like me as well. They don't like when you change things. That's me as well. They like to destroy things. That's pretty much humans in general. Like if you put a cup, I have a hamster, and I put like a cardboard cup in one of like near her nest. And I woke up the next morning and I came down and she's absolutely decimated the cup. There is no cup anymore. It's in ruins. That's like humans when they see a forest, you know?
Oh gosh.
And then you know, they do absolutely nothing with their lives all day. You know, they just potter around, acting productive, doing silly little tasks, which is absolutely fantastic to watch. And we enjoy watching other humans doing silly little tasks as well. So really, we're not that different from hamsters. Also, they love to explore and to try and go into places where they're not meant to go. That's humans as well. To be honest, I don't really see any differences between humans and hamsters, except for the fact that humans are a lot bigger and stronger, so clearly we've evolved from hamsters. And that is why humans have evolved from hamsters.
All right. Interesting. Well, that is a very fair opinion to have, but in my opinion, we did not evolve from hamsters. I believe that humans evolved from birds. Now, you may be wondering, didn't we just talk about on Conspiracy Talk how birds don't exist? Well, that is true, and I stand by that. Birds are still these all-powerful beings that will take over at some point. But before they were all-powerful, what do you think they were? It's a weird cycle. You see, I believe that the cycle went like this. Birds were the birds we believe they are today. Then they evolved into humans, and then those humans evolved into ultra-powerful birds. So, with that being said, I believe that humans evolved from birds, and there are many facts supporting this. So, first thing I want to point out is, according to scientificamerican.com, bird brains are more human-like than we had initially known. Birds have similar brains to humans, and if that is true, that would make sense because the evolution comes with the brain growing, and our brains are bigger than bird brains, unless the bird only is just filled with brain or something like that, which I don't think that's the case.
I don't think they are. I think they've checked
It's just a brain shaped like a bird, with feathers. It's just a brain with feathers. That's a whole other episode. We'll have to do a Birds Part 2 or something like that.
Birds Part 3 at this rate.
Yeah. And there are some really smart birds out there. Like either ravens or crows or both. They can do a lot of stuff. And they're also capable of like making friends. And just like humans are, they have a social life. And that's one of the big things that we visibly see that distinguishes us from various animals. Yes, animals have their social lives too. But for animals, a lot of their social lives are specifically either around family or mating. Humans, we have friends, and so do birds. Anyways, along with that, when you look at the bodies of humans and birds, you're obviously they look different. But guess what? Both humans and birds are vertebrates, and then they have like a spine. They both have eggs, which, although those eggs are used in different ways, that's where the baby humans and baby birds come from. But guess what? Humans and birds are both tetrapods, which is an animal with like 4-footed body plan. But
I was just about to ask.
As you may know, both humans and birds walk on 2 feet. And that's a huge difference compared to a lot of the other animals out there, because so many animals are these tetrapods which have like the 4 feet plan. But not very many of them just walk on 2 feet. Like, for example, hamsters. Hamsters typically walk on all 4 feet. And then most animals I can think of, besides humans and birds, walk on 4 or more feet. Like, I don't know, Lucy, can you think of any animals that aren't birds or humans that walk on 2 feet?
Oh, it's a tricky one, actually.
Yeah, I know.
Maybe like chimpanzees.
Well, yeah, you're right. Okay. Yeah, so like apes and gorillas and stuff, which is ironically the other connection, which are birds.
Ostriches. Yeah.
So birds. That's my point, exactly. Humans are bipedal, birds are bipedal, even though they really shouldn't be. They're both bipedal. And that is a fact. And overall, I'd say those reasons support that humans evolved from birds, but not only that those humans then evolved back into birds, into all these ultra-powerful birds. And I believe at some point, these ultra-powerful birds will evolve back into humans. It's going to be an infinite loop until we have really powerful birds and humans. Alright. That's all I got to say. Anything else you want to add, Lucy?
I'm right.
Alright. Thank you for listening to Conspiracy Talk. Conspiracy Talk is owned and produced by Open Mic Podcasts. If you like this podcast and want to see more episodes, Or if you like conspiracy talk and want to see what else Open Mic Podcast has to offer, subscribe to Open Mic Podcast on YouTube or follow Open Mic Podcast on Spotify and Instagram. Come back next Sunday for the next episode of Conspiracy Talk, but come back tomorrow for the next episode of Fake It Till You Make It, the podcast where my guest has absolutely no idea what they're talking about.